When a nation runs on someone else's trust, one day that same trust is used to bring it down. And today, this is not just a story about lies. This is a story about economic weakness, strategic mistakes, and dangerous over-reliance on the wrong neighbor. What you're about to hear should honestly be a wake-up call for India. Because while Bangladesh continues to cross one red line after another, India keeps watching in silence. Let's talk about something very few people outside policy circles know. Bangladesh's entire jute industry runs on India's shoulders. Yes, Bangladesh is completely dependent on India for jute seeds. Why? Because India exports high-quality, high-yield, disease-resistant jute seeds. Without these seeds, Bangladesh simply cannot sustain large-scale jute production. And here's the biggest irony. India not only sells the seeds, India also buys back massive quantities of jute grown using those same seeds. The same hand that supplied life was nearly bitten off. Now here's the contradiction. India is the world's largest jute producer with nearly 2 million tons annually. So the obvious question is, why does India import jute from Bangladesh at all? The answer is simple: cost. Bangladesh has cheaper labor, heavier government subsidies, lower production costs. As a result, Bangladeshi jute is cheaper for Indian mills. And this is where India made its biggest strategic mistake. Bangladesh understood one thing very clearly. Indian mills and factories had become deeply dependent on Bangladeshi raw jute. And then came the pressure tactic. In September 2025, Bangladesh cut off raw jute exports to India. The excuse? They claimed it was retaliation for India banning imports of finished jute goods from Bangladesh. But here's the real reason. Bangladeshi manufacturers were dumping jute products in India at dirt cheap prices, killing Indian producers. Indian mills were bleeding. Factories were shutting down. Millions of workers' jobs were at risk. India had no choice but to block finished jute imports. So when trade is used as a weapon, the response also comes through trade. But the moment Bangladesh stopped raw jute supply, Indian mills were forced to switch to domestic jute, which is more expensive. Production costs shot up. Output dropped. And once again, millions of Indian jute workers were pushed to the edge. Yes, this disruption may be temporary. In the long run, the industry will adapt. But the real question still remains. If India produces more jute, if India has better technology, why can't India match Bangladesh's prices? The answer lies in policy and subsidies. Bangladesh heavily subsidizes its jute farmers. It offers logistics support. It gives export incentives. India, on the other hand, has fragmented farmers, higher costs, inconsistent policies. Today, the global jute market is worth $3 billion. India is the largest producer, but only the second largest exporter. Why? Because most of India's jute is consumed domestically, which means this: India has the power, but it isn't using it. Now comes the real solution. India's Jute Mill Association is demanding something bold and direct. Completely stop exporting jute seeds to Bangladesh. Why? Because without Indian seeds, Bangladesh's jute industry collapses. No seeds means no crop. No crop means economic shock. These seeds are the backbone of Bangladesh's jute quality and output. And that's not all. India must act on every critical supply chain that keeps Bangladesh's economy running. The biggest weapon? A 100% import ban on Bangladeshi textiles and garments. That industry is Bangladesh's lifeline. This is not war. This is economic warfare. No bullets, no soldiers, just strategy. If India stays silent today, tomorrow Bangladesh's confidence will only grow. Because history teaches us one thing very clearly. Those who don't speak when it matters lose the right to complain later. India gave Bangladesh seeds, markets, trust, and in return, blackmail, supply cuts, threats. The time has come for India to send a clear message. Dependence must be answered with dependence. Now we ask you, should India completely stop jute seed exports to Bangladesh? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments.